Hello everyone, new episode Megaleach is out and let's discuss what we saw. I'm really excited of Miraculous show and one of the reasons is that there is someone very competent in teenage psychology and in teenage problems, in kids problem, in world problem is working on this show, and it's so many problems are in this show, so many messages are in this episode. Yes, this episode is mainly about Mylen as polymouse. Her growth and changes in her character is really incredible if to compare with the first season, but let's go from the very beginning. First message is from Madame Bustier. Children from her class were grabbed by policemen and she is like mad at this. I'll show you how to touch my children. And did they do something bad? No, they just had a peaceful protest. Everyone has the right on peaceful protest. So her reaction is just iconical. Don't touch my children. And we have civil lesson today in an air because everyone has his rights. Just great. She's real great. Next one. We always are quite busy and have no time to see what's happening around us. That's the first. And the second is that if you want to attract someone's attention, start from speaking personally to everyone. Next, use your brain. Don't let beautiful pictures to trick you. Analyze. Think. It's very important in our new situation when we live in information society. Perfect. Next one message, ecological problems. There is no miraculous solutions that are proposed to solve them in a day. Every day have to think about our ecological. It's so hard to plant the trees at the end of this episode. Mylen, she really changed from the first season. I remember how she was afraid of everything, just everything, even she couldn't work with it. Now we see this, I can do that, I'm afraid of everything, but I can do that, I can manage with my fears. And I am really thankful for Miraculous for this message. Bravery is not an absence of fear, it's to continue even with fear, and this is so true. We should overcome fear and keep going. Not forget about fear. I am afraid, yes, but I can do this. I have already told that there is someone quite competent in teenage problem, in kid growth, in emotional, in psychology. Here is an example. When I am afraid, yes, but I can manage with it. I can say myself that this moment I'm not afraid, and this moment I can do that. So for teenagers, and it is so for kids, so useful, so needed message. Just I like it. First, Mylen tries to reject Miraculous, like Marinette at the very beginning. I am not a superhero, I am not for this role, but Marinette finds the words and Mylen takes it. I like this reference. I like that. That's remind me about originals when Marinette wasn't sure in herself and wasn't so confident and tried to reject Miraculous. And wasn't it so cute when Ivan supports Mylen and names her my little mouse, and how he tries to protect her? So I really like these relations. We saw them finally. I'm glad. One little notice before we go into the battle. Why Adrian can transform in front of any column on everyone's eyes, but Marinette goes to some corner and someone finds her there. What's the reason? Just funny. So LADYBUG used her lucky charm at the very beginning of the battle. There was a long time before the battle ended. At first she goes for Mylen, then she brings whole hero team. Then they defeat this monster. No pick. Good, so she grows up. She can use her lucky charm at the very beginning of the battle and have enough time to end this battle. I really liked teamwork. I liked that we saw several heroes and it's very interesting. It's something new, not only a duo, but in a duo. This episode, ChatNoir, is used only to distract the villain, and that's like shooting cannon at the sparrows. Yes, it's nothing to do with his cataclysm. In this episode, there is Sentimonster, but a little pity for him. So, Didn't we see some similar skin in Puppeteer too? As I remember when Ladybug was captured by a cat. Looks like really a reference to previous seasons, but I'm not sure. And I'll mention. This episode we expected like filler, but there were a lot of plot moment, and for example, Shadow Moss is talking about marching to the next battle, and he talking about Optigami. We saw these flashbacks that we see in this episode, we saw them in Optigami. So it all is in plot. Adrinette, love square. Adrinette is getting better and better. I liked that all Marinette sentences has sense. So, and don't you find this first sentence is a little bit flirty, like she talks with ChatNoir. You need to get better at making puns and stand her finger on him. And just imagine how their relation look like when they begin act normal to each other. Anyway, this time she, as usual, no, that's not what I mean, nothing to do with that, bye, oh, no, and so on. I really want to see how it all will look when they start normal relations. Oh my, and the final skin with Daddy Agrest. I just don't know what to say here. At first, he tricked his son. He told him that there is for a new perfume, and he didn't told about all this stuff, so he understands that his son wouldn't be really happy to make a net for this all fresh air, and he just tricks him. Look, Nino knows something about relations between Adrian and his father. Yes, he definitely knows more than anyone else, but we see this sad Nino looking at Adrian. We saw in Guilt Trip how Nino was guilty that he can't help Adrian with his father, and I think that is some way connected to Gabriel Agrest episode. Can't be sure, but maybe Gabriel Agrest episode is about relations between Gabriel and Adrian. So, you took a stand against me today. Wow, how abusive. And look what this boy from such an abusive family answers. Not against you, but against project. How? Who is an example for this boy that he understands that he stands not against his father but against project? It's not looks like his father is an example. It's really normal conversation, healthy conversation from Adrian's side when his father has other style of conversation at all. This skin when he raises his hand is just shut up. Go to your room, it's look like you don't exist, your mind doesn't exist, no one here this so abusive, I just don't know what to say. In this skin his hand covers Adrian that was animated for us to understand how these relations look like. It's quite symbolical that his father is in white, he's a villain, and the portrait is all black, without Emily, and he stands every time in front of this portrait. At the end skin, he looks at this portrait without Emily and touched the ring. I know those who like Sentimonster theory is like, oh, Adrian is a Sentimonster, Amokison's ring. If ring is hidden Miraculous, it's quite hard to destroy the ring with Mok. Yes, and the theory is quite interesting. Just I myself hope that it will be just theory and Adrian is a human or at least half a human. There is another way to destroy Sentimonster. I free you from reality. Click fingers and all. Anyone who has Peacock Miraculous can just I free you from reality, Sentimonster. And do you want a child who can be so easily deleted? I think that there was another way they damaged Miraculous, but I think I should theorize about this in separate video. Anyway, this skin wasn't controlling moment. No, he haven't control Adrian at this time, even if Adrian is a Sentimonster. But this ring has a legend and they are connected to relations of Adrian and his father. Maybe Adrian is really some way guilty in his mother's disappearance. So, I am really interested to know the mystery. Let this last thoughts be a spoiler to my theory about if Adrian's Sentimonster or not. Feel free to comment, subscribe, like, tell me what you think, and see you in the next one.